Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to PlayStation News, Rumours and Leaks. Lots to discuss in the video today, including news of a Stellar Blade demo coming out very soon, Santa Monica Studios' new AAA game, a massive surprise rumour about Resident Evil 9, and believe me, you won't want to miss this if it happens to be true. We also have an update from Sony Bend Studio and their new AAA game. Great news for PSVR 2 fans. And we also have quite a mixed reaction to the launch of Dragon's Dogma 2, which launched last week. So like I said, lots to discuss in the video today. Timestamps are available in the description below if you want to jump ahead and go straight to the bits that you're interested in. So let's start off with Stellar Blade. The article here goes on to say that after accidentally pulling the trigger early, Sony Interactive Entertainment and Shift Up have confirmed a Stellar Blade demo release date alongside detailing its contents. The demo will arrive for all players on Good Friday, which is this Friday, March the 29th at 7 AM Pacific Time, 10 AM Eastern Time and 2 PM for those folks in the UK. The demo starts at the beginning of the game, and according to an official description, this is when protagonist Eve is sent to Earth as part of the 7th Airborne Squad with the mission to rescue the planet from Naitiba's forces. The players will play up to the first boss fight. So the demo goes up to the first big boss, and there will be a tutorial to help familiarise yourselves with Stellar Blade's controls, scheme and mechanics. The demo takes place in the city of Eidos or Eidos 7, which has been taken over by Naitiba. Shift Up goes on to say that there will be a surprise for players who manage to complete the demo. We expect this to be some sort of an in-game reward that players get when the game launches on April the 26th. Those who complete the demo can carry their progress over to the full game, starting from their last checkpoint, provided that their save data is still on the PS5. So that's pretty good, isn't it? So you get to do the demo, you do the first level or the first boss fight, and if you save all that data and you buy the game, you can carry on from where you left off, which is a nice thing. And you get a nice little reward. Don't know what that looks like, so hopefully we'll get to find out what that is over the next few days. Shift Up then goes on to write regarding the demo, from the smooth 60 frames per second combat to the haptics you'll feel through the DualSense wireless controller, there are various charms of the game that you can only confidently appreciate through hands-on experience. For me personally, it always shows a level of confidence when a studio or publisher is prepared to put out a demo of a game prior to the game coming out. I've said this before on many occasions. If a game studio, developer or publisher, they're prepared to put out a level of the game just to allow people to play what the game looks like, what it feels like, give you an idea of the flavour of the controls and stuff like that, I think it shows a level of confidence behind the game. I think it's a good move. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the demo when it comes out this Friday, and I'll let you know my feedback over the weekend. We'll take it from there. Let me know if you're planning on trying the demo. Let me know if you were going to buy the game regardless of the demo. I'll be quite interested to know if you're planning on picking up the game from what you've seen already before the demo hits this Friday. Let's move on to Sony Santa Monica. We all know that God of War developer Santa Monica Studio is working on a new PS5 game, but the developer has yet to reveal the project that they're actually working on. Eager fans are keen to know what the studio is working on, especially in light of recent PlayStation job cuts and game cancellations. Creative director Cory Barlog has provided a bit of an update. Barlog took to Twitter to reveal that some early things are coming together quite nicely on this project, indicating that the game may still be in early development. Now, clues pieced together by fans from previous reports and job descriptions suggest that Santa Monica's new game may be an RPG or have RPG elements. There were also rumours that the developer is working on a sci-fi IP. However, there's been speculation that this project may have been cancelled. Back in February, Sony trademarked something titled Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, under categories for video game software. It's widely assumed that this is a new PlayStation Studios IP, and given the title, some people are convinced that this is a Santa Monica mystery PS5 game. However, there's no indication of this at present, and considering there are multiple PlayStation developers working on new IP, Intergalactic can't be narrowed down to just Santa Monica Studio. We really could do with a Sony PlayStation showcase of some kind, just to reveal some kind of roadmap, you know, so the fans know what each of the studios are working on and when we are likely to see those games come out. Don't get me wrong, if the games are 2, 3 or even 4 years away, I don't mind. They can take their time and release the games when they're ready. But I think just to manage expectations, it would be good to get a showcase sorted out ASAP. Let us know what the studios are working on so we know and we can plan in our own minds what type of games the studios are making. In reality though, I don't see this happening anytime soon. Certainly not until at least maybe near the end of this year. That's if the Pro comes out, or if the Pro's delayed, maybe they'll hold one early next year in line with the Pro. But anyhow, that's a whole other conversation for a later date. Let's move on to some news about Resident Evil 9. A known insider has claimed that Resident Evil 9 will be an open world game, which is a complete departure from the series' previous entries. Capcom has yet to announce the game, but previous rumours suggest that it may launch sometime in 2025, which would be somewhat in line with the publisher's pattern of game releases. According to Dusk Golem, who is known for the horror game leaks, both Resident Evil 9 and Monster Hunter Wilds will take advantage of the RE engine's expanded functionality, which is what Dragon's Dogma 2 was built upon. Dusk Golem goes on to explain that Capcom often will greenlight new initiatives in threes close together. Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry were all greenlit fairly close together to take advantage of their new RE engine. Dragon's Dogma 2 expanded RE's engine functionality for open world games, with the other two games building on this tech are Monster Hunter Wilds and RE9. Dusk Golem added that Capcom's goal for Dragon's Dogma 2, Monster Hunter Wilds and Resident Evil 9 has been to retain their respective series DNA. Now what do you make of that? RE9 as an open world game. Isn't that just Days Gone and The Last of Us in a world with zombies and, you know, those kind of weird creatures? Personally, I think to keep it close to the core of what Resident Evil is, I think the game should not be open world. I'd rather have it structured in a linear way with maybe small explorable areas, therefore leading to a much tighter story driven and creative intense experience. Otherwise, if it's complete open world, I think people will end up lost in the world and it may take away something unique that the series has. I mean, it's just my thoughts on traditional open world games really, but let's see what Capcom have to say about this rumour. After all, it's only a rumour at this stage, so very intrigued to know if that is actually going to be true, because Resident Evil as an open world game is completely different, isn't it? It's not really what we're used to, so they really would be moving completely left field from the series and their identity. It certainly isn't the DNA of Resident Evil. Anyway, let's move on. It looks like Sony Bend Studios' live service AAA PS5 game escaped the recent PlayStation job cuts and game cancellations. The studio hasn't revealed anything about its new project beyond confirming that it's a new IP, leaving fans to pick up clues from official job descriptions. The last update we received from Sony Bend Studio was in January this year, when it was assuring fans via a tweet that it's still cooking, meaning that it's still on track and it's going ahead with whatever project that it was working on. And we all believe that to be the live service AAA PS5 game. However, PlayStation underwent massive layoffs last month, followed by multiple project cancellations, and most of those cancellations were the live service games underlit by Jim Ryan. A number of the live service games that Sony had greenlit as part of its push into games as a service have also been cancelled. However, Bend Studio is seemingly safe, and spotted by a Reddit user, a new job advert publicized by Bend reveals that the developer is seeking a lead project manager for its mystery new IP. The term live service is mentioned at least 3 times in the job description. The ideal candidate to lead the game's live service strategy must have hands-on experience of AAA live service games and must have previously led a transition from traditional box product to live service development studio. So it appears that Bend Studio are still driving forward with their live service AAA game. Again, we need to see something like a PlayStation showcase to see what the game is about before we can really get excited. But knowing that Bend Studio is behind it, and I suppose you really have to play Days Gone to understand the quality of the studio and previous games years ago. Siphon Filter, absolute brilliant game. So the quality of the devs and what the studio can do is there. But I think we just need to see, because it's a live service game, we need to know a little bit more about it before we can get excited. But let's move on. The latest PSVR 2 system update has apparently enabled PC access, eliminating the need to use workarounds to get the device to work. This was noted by a VR tech expert and a VR accessory maker, both of whom have deduced that Sony is planning to allow direct PSVR 2 to PC connection in the future. Sony announced in late February that it was testing the ability to add PC access to its VR headset, allowing the device's owners to play PC VR games and expand their gaming libraries. Since this feature is still in testing phase, we're unsure how this will all plan out in the end. However, VR accessory maker Ivory, and that's spelled IVRY, noted on Twitter that an adapter of some sort will be needed to connect the PSVR 2 to PC. The PSVR 2 needs a USB-C port that provides 12-volt power and alt display port, Ivory explained. The only PC ports that can do that are Virtual Link, which has been discontinued. Hence, anyone without one of those ports on their desktop GPU will need some kind of an adapter, and there's no way around this. It's been rumoured that Sony's temporarily halting the production of PSVR 2 due to the build-up of unsold inventory. This news comes out about the PSVR 2 update suggests that the PSVR 2 will soon be able to access PC VR games. Honestly guys, this is great news, and as soon as this is possible and you can actually access the PC VR games, I'll go ahead and pick up a PSVR 2. That's all I'm waiting for really, just to expand the options available in terms of the games on the PSVR 2. I think the option to add hundreds of more VR games to your library, which were previously not available, will appeal to a lot of people, and this is a really great feature and a great move from Sony. It's clearly expanding its gaming operation to PC. We know that with the AAA games, the multi-service games, the Helldivers and so on. So we know they're expanding to attract PC players, and if your PSVR 2 works with PC games, PC VR games, even better, right? Fantastic. So that sounds quite good, and it also sounds like it's aligning with Sony's plan for their second phase of the PS5 plan, and that second part of the PS5, which it's a relaunch plan, isn't it? Let's be honest. Halfway through the console generation, let's relaunch the PS5. So that includes a new CEO for the PlayStation division, launching the PS5 Pro, perhaps not a relaunch of PSVR 2, but enable PC VR games for the platform, an update of PS Plus, which will include movies for the premium tier, a PC PlayStation storefront or a PC PlayStation app to play your digital games on PC, mobile and tablet, not via remote play, so literally directly like Game Pass, jump on your PC, load up your PlayStation app, off you go. Some kind of a firmware update for PlayStation Portal, which will enable the PlayStation Portal to play PlayStation Plus and your digital games not via remote play, but literally on the go anywhere, so you don't have to be tethered to your PlayStation 5. That I see towards the back end, tail end of the PlayStation generation, so almost like an absolute pure handheld device. And hopefully the relaunch of the second phase of the PS5 will have showcases, regular showcases, at least 2 a year from PlayStation. We need them desperately. It all sounds really exciting, but we need to hear from Sony PlayStation before we can really get too excited about this. Let's move on. Prior to Dragon's Dogma 2 launch, the reviews of the game were absolutely brilliant, excellent. All the reviews are out there, knocking it out of the park. Yeah, the game's fantastic, it's brilliant, great, 100%, 90%, very high marks. But as soon as the game started, even then, the initial launch, we still had excellent reviews. Soon after launch, we started to hear about problems gamers were running into, and they were kind of egregious microtransactions stuffed into the game by Capcom. added at launch and instantly criticized, the game's microtransactions locked you out of the ability to change character appearance and features. You can't fast travel, and there's lots of other things you cannot do unless you paid for it, which is pathetic, absolutely pathetic. A paywall to change a character's appearance and fast travel is a joke. To address the elephant in the room, all of Dragon's Dogma 2's add-on DLCs can be obtained from the game. However, Capcom is well aware that those items are extremely rare and difficult to get, meaning you're going to have to grind like a dog and more to even have a remote chance of obtaining them. The art of metamorphosis, for instance, is a rare find that allows players to edit their character's appearance. It's $1.99 for those who are struggling to find enough. Port crystals are add-ons that allow players to make fast travel points, which the director himself, Hideaki Itsuno, previously said that he isn't a huge fan of, but Dragon's Dogma 2 is apparently designed to make exploration lucrative. There are also wake stones that can be used to resurrect players and NPCs. Those who are struggling to win through a battle can fork out some cash to stay alive through the end. Joke. All these microtransactions are a joke. And since Dragon Dogma 2 is a single player game, the microtransactions mentioned so far technically constitute pay to win, but that's not necessarily a good look. It's absolute greed, that's what it is. Absolute greed. Microtransactions in any game are pure greed, especially if you incorporate them in a single player game which costs £70 in the UK. It's an absolute joke. Let's hope Capcom do something about this to gain some goodwill back, but I suspect they will not do anything about it. And the sad thing is, most gamers will just accept it and continue to pay for the microtransactions, which in Capcom's eyes justifies their actions. Anyway, the discussion of microtransactions in gaming is going to have to be one for another day. It's highly emotional and it could take a long time to discuss as we debate the pros and cons of microtransactions within the gaming industry. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the topics discussed in the video today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next PlayStation news, rumours and leaks video.